Hi, Mike Kennedy. Children's books. When you get children's books, do you read them first and see what message they're promoting or not? This one's a classic book. Maybe not this. The story's classic, maybe not the book, but The Magic Fish. Spoiler alert. If basically this fisherman there, he catches a magic fish and the fish wants to let him go, and he promises him that he can have some wishes. And so the man goes back, talks to his wife, and his wife says, yeah, we want this. He goes back, calls into the ocean. The magic fish pops his head up and says, yeah, we'll give you that. So the wife keeps wanting more and more. And it gets to a point where, they end up with kind of like a really nice house and different things and stuff. But then this person wants to be queen of the sun and moon. Well, the fisherman goes back and talks to the fish, and the fish says, no, that you want too much. She wants too much. And so when he goes back, there's the old house and everything just as it was. So kind of the moral of the story is being greedy can make you lose everything. And no more do we see that evident than on the internet. The Nigerian scam letter, you get this email sent to you, and they'll change it so it'll be someone else, but the original thing was a Nigerian prince. He's had to leave his country because there's been some conflict, and he has like $7 million in the bank, and he's saying that like he can't get it. He can't leave where he is and get to America and get it, but you could get it, and he'd share it with you, and share a lot of it with you, and somehow it's going to cost like so much in processing fees to get it. So you wire him money, and you never hear from him again because it was a scam. Now, some people have lost their life savings on this scam. There was something about a couple in Maine. I'm not sure. I would say this was like 5 years ago, maybe, but they lost like their $40,000. They lost their life savings. But why? Well, because they wanted everything. They wanted this millions of dollars, and they thought they could get it free. They they wanted the reward without the work. They wanted the prize without entering the contest. However you want to say it, greed, just like in the magic fish story, they end up with nothing at the end. So that's a good classic tale. Then here's a book that's kind of just, I don't know, it's just talking about animals making tracks in the snow and coming home. And it's like, there's no big, moral in it, or anti-moral. That's the thing you got to watch out for, anti-moral, where they're saying something that you don't agree with. So this would make a good book to read to a child, but this is also based on helping your child to read. So this one's kind of cute in a way, but I don't know if I'm going to read this to someone else's kid, to granddaughter. You Don't Want to Be a Dragon, which I guess they already wrote the book You Don't Want to Be a Unicorn. So this guy wants a pet dragon. And so basically the book is about having this pet dragon. And what happens is everything goes wrong. There's too much fire, there's too much smoke, they're flying, and the kid almost falls off, there's all these things that happen that show you that he made the wrong choice in picking a pet. So at the kind of the end of the book, they decide on something a little better, which I assume this little creature, I assume this is a hamster or guinea pig. I can't quite tell. I haven't read all the words to this, so it will say, but so it's kind of a book to tell a child that maybe they should care for what they wish for, or maybe they should think about pets before they actually get them. But like I said, I wanted to read this to someone without knowing whether they, some people can have pets, where they live, the surroundings they live in, all different things about maybe there's an apartment, there's a rule against it, and all of these different things, or that the parents know that the child is not at an age where, or even older children sometimes, won't take care of the animal, won't feed it, won't walk it, whatever has to be done. So another interesting book. So yeah, check it out. Oh, and all of these, you know me now, with this granddaughter in Germany, we go over Skype, communicate via Skype, and I would say usually, twice a week we read her bedtime stories, which is really nice. And I do want to point out, too, we have a real high-speed connection at the house. We're paying extra, pay way too much for our cable. But, with it, we get this 400 megabits per second speed. And, a lot of, regular services are more like 25 or 50 maybe. And usually it's between 250 and 350 when I check it. So, but on our end using Skype, we get really, really clear pictures and audio, which is, we were communicating through Facebook Messenger, but it was always problematical. I mean, here you're listening to a child who, is learning how to talk, you could say, learning different words, different whatever. And so, and old ears, very old ears, my wife and I. So sometimes we couldn't understand what the child is saying. Well, going off of Facebook Messenger video type service and going to Skype is enormously better. It's like the picture is always clear. It doesn't drop out, but the sound quality is always good. With Facebook, we would get this ringing sound in it, or there'd be an echo. Like Chal said, would say 2 books, right? And then there'd be an echo right next to it, so it makes it difficult sometimes to hear that the actual thing said was 2 books. So anyway, there you go. Check with your children's books, see what they're promoting as a message, and decide if that's a message you want promoted. Here's an example of this, and I don't know. I guess just to say, I gotta say it. Well, like all people, some teachers aren't too bright. So we're at this thing, and they're just, it was some kind of sale or something. I don't know exactly what it was. So they were showing some of the books, or books that you could buy or whatever. And there's a book that's based on one of the poems of Robert Frost, okay? And I looked at it and I say, this is about suicide. Why are you doing this to kids? And she's like, what? It's not about suicide. What are you talking about? Well, what is? These woods are dark and deep, but I have miles to go before I sleep and promises to keep. Look at that. I even remember it. That's way back from whenever. But it's the person is contemplating, he's, on the road in this very snowy situation, and he knows that all he has to do is go lay down in the snow and go to sleep, and it will be over. He won't have these responsibilities. He won't have this or that. But he decides not to do it. Okay? But I don't know. Still, I think that's excellent for older children. But giving that to young children, I don't know. It just presents an issue that they're not capable of fully understanding the consequences. And I don't know. So that's just an example. And like I say, the teacher that had the book was like, what? What? It isn't about that. It's about this guy on a snowy road. And it's like, yeah, about the guy on the snowy road that's thinking, if I go lay down in the snow, I don't have to deal with tomorrow because tomorrow won't come. So check the messages in the books. I mean, a lot of books like this. This book is a neutral book. It really doesn't have a message unless you say the message is that you can come home. I guess you could say that, or you have a home. So, but look at the books and see. I was at someone's house, and the kid needed to be sent to bed, and the guy's like, "Oh, I have to go read to my child." And I said, "Oh, I'll do it. I love reading." And he was like, "Oh, okay." So I get up there, and she passes me this book. It's this horrible, horrible book. You know, it's got witches in it, and it's all like, you know, it was really something that would be like nightmare material. So I made up a different story to go with the book. But it was like, that's what they were putting into the kid each night. That this, I don't know. Just be careful. Bye.